This is mental wellness in the modern world. Our mission is to connect biblical and psychological principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. In a time when chaos is loud and pressure feels constant, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Mental wellness isn't just about surviving, it's about finding clarity, strength, and meaning in the everyday. This is where honest conversations happen, where healing meets truth, and where you're reminded that you're not alone. Hi, I'm Eleni Lobene with Benison Kingdom Network, and this is Mental Wellness in the Modern World. Our mission is to connect biblical and psychological principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. And today I'm super excited to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite psychological concepts, which is called delay of gratification. Have you heard of it before? This one's a little bit less mainstream, so you might not have. But I want to read you the actual definition of it from the Encyclopedia Britannica. All right, so delay of gratification is the act of resisting an impulse to take an immediately available reward in hope of obtaining a more valued reward in the future. The ability to delay gratification is essential to self-regulation or self-control. Okay. Now, Walter Mischel is one of the first people to really investigate this in the psychological world. And basically what researchers have found is that delay of gratification unilaterally predicts positive life outcomes way better than most other things. Okay, when we're doing research, we're trying to make predictions. We're trying to see if this thing predicts something else. And we know that there is a ton of evidence to say that delay of gratification helps us predict positive life outcomes. And that's very meaningful. When I became a parent, this became very important to me to better understand, because if I can teach my child delay of gratification, then they can make better choices in their lives. So, delay of gratification is not just a psychological concept, though. It is something that is absolutely in the Bible. The Bible talks about, of course, it doesn't use that term. We never use the same terms as we use in the psych world. However, it uses terms like investment. It talks about investing in our communities. The Bible talks about investing in our families, in our finances, and making strategic choices that will help us in the long term. In fact, if you really want to extrapolate it even further, talking about investing in the kingdom of God is the ultimate delay of gratification, right? The idea of making sacrifices today, making donations, for example, things that maybe make things a little harder in the short term, but that are an investment in long-term gains of the kingdom of God. That is the ultimate delay of gratification. And we won't talk a whole lot about that today because we want to focus here on the here and now. However, it is something that is very much how I think God wired us. Okay. And that means it's a trait that we probably want to figure out how to cultivate and to grow in ourselves to have better life outcomes. So, what are some ways that we could tangibly try and experience or just demonstrate delay of gratification? Well, one is education, right? That's a classic example. Choosing to forego income in the short term so that way you can have perhaps better opportunities in the long term through education and training. That's definitely a form of delay of gratification. Also, investing your money. That's another clear one. So choosing not to spend, not to go out to eat, not to spend on clothes, things that are temporary, that are the benefits will just evaporate immediately. Choosing to invest in things that have a longer term impact and that will benefit you down the road. That's delay of gratification. One of my favorites is healthy lifestyle, right? Choosing to exercise today and tomorrow and the next day, even when you don't really feel like it and it's uncomfortable, those choices will make you healthier in the long term. And same thing with eating well, making healthy lifestyle choices with food, and also with relationships and choosing intimacy before marriage. Choosing to delay certain forms of intimacy will help you develop a better relationship and a stronger bond in the long term. So, there are a multitude of ways that both the Bible and modern psychology tell you the benefits and ways to use delayed gratification to improve your life. So I challenge you today to think, what is an area of your life where you think you could use a little bit more delayed gratification? What could you sacrifice today to make things better for you tomorrow or a year from now or 10 years from now. Once you can get in that mindset, you can make great choices that are going to improve your life in the long term. I'm Eleni Lobene, and this is Benison Kingdom Network.